Ladies and gentlemen, the Governor of the State of New York, Andrew Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. First, to Senator Hugh Farley. Nicest thing was that I should still be called a young man. I don't care. And Bob Duffy is Irish. I thought he was Italian. Senator Hugh Farley is, I don't have to tell this room, he is unparalleled in his statesmanship, his quality of public service, his ability to always remember that it's about the people in the district and the people of the state of New York, and it's never about politics. It's an honor to work with him. It's an honor to be with him. I'm flattered by his kind introduction. You're lucky to have him. Give him a big round of applause, Senator Hugh Farley. And good morning to Schenectady Community College and President Bullock. Thank you for having us. Give him a round of applause. Great Lieutenant Governor, who's been doing a phenomenal job and is going to head up this effort in the regional councils all across the state, Bob Duffy, an Italian. Our co-chairs for the regional councils, Shirley Jackson Lee from RPI. Thank you very much, Shirley. Michael Castellana from President of SFQ. Thank you very much, Michael. The voice of labor, a friend of mine for many, many years. I just now find out it was a suntan. All this year I thought it was high blood pressure. Jerry Jennings. We also have our colleagues who I'm sorry, Jerry, I realize that I should pile on after Bob. It's not right. And it all comes around. We have our, you heard the colleagues who are here from the Assembly and the Senate. I would ask them all to stand. They have done an outstanding job representing you. Stand up. I want to say a special thank you from the delegation to Senator Roy McDonald. Roy and I don't agree on every issue, but let me say this. I know firsthand that I believe Senator McDonald possesses the greatest strength for an elected official, a politician, some would say a human being. He is a person of principle, and he has guts, and he stands for what he believes when it's easy, when it's hard, when it's popular, when it's not popular. And that's what it's all about. Senator Roy McDonald. Stand up, Roy. Well, as you've heard, we've had a what they call a good legislative session. Legislature starts in January, it's over in June, but we're off to a different start in state government. And we have a good record of accomplishment, and there is generally a different feeling about the state, because I think in January we got it. We got it. We smelled the coffee. We came to a common recognition that this state, the main priority is to get the economy running. If the economy is running, and if you're creating jobs, you can take care of everything else. And if your economy is not running, and you're losing jobs, your ability to deal with any problem is greatly inhibited. So it's about getting the economy running. And for many, many years, this state was doing the exact opposite. We were losing jobs. We're losing young people. I mean, the numbers in out-migration across especially upstate New York are frightening. People are leaving. If old guys like me were leaving, it wouldn't be so bad. It's the young people who are leaving. Why? Because they think the future isn't here. They think they have to move to find a job. You know it day in and day out. You hear stories of people leaving, kids going to college, never coming back. Where's your son? Where are your grandchildren? They're in another part of the country. If you have the economy running, if you're creating jobs, there's opportunity, people are coming, people are staying. If your economy is running and you're creating jobs, you're creating a tax base. Best way to help Mayor Jennings, get him a tax base. If you're not, you're losing. People say, well, we believe in good government programs, big government programs. Great. Someone has to pay the taxes, and you need a tax base. And we got that. We got that in January. We also got that it was a pressing priority, and it was time for the elected officials of this state to put aside their politics, put aside the Democrat, put aside the Republican, reach across the aisle and work together, because we're not Democrats, we're not Republicans, we're New Yorkers first, and it's about time we acted that way. And once you come to that acceptance and that acknowledgement and that awareness, then you do what we did, which you heard from Senator Farley. We balanced the budget, closed a $10 billion deficit, and we did it without raising taxes, because New York has no economic future as the tax capital of the nation, period. We passed a property tax cap. It is the most obnoxious and repressive tax in the state. It is imprisoning people in their homes. I can't tell you how many people have come up to me and said, I just can't afford the property tax anymore. The old days, when the question was whether you could afford a home, the question was, could you afford to pay the mortgage? Now the question is, can you afford to pay the property taxes? And property taxes have been going up 6%, 7%, 8% every year, depending on where you are in the state. And the homeowner has no ability to pay. Where is the money supposed to come from for the taxpayer to pay the increase? Nothing is going up at those rates in their life. Their income's not going up 6%. Their bank account is not going up 6%. The value of their home isn't going up 6%. But government keeps saying, we're going to put our hand in your pocket, and we're going to take out more. And then you're surprised when people say, I give up, I have to leave. That's why we passed the property tax cap to cap the increase at 2% or the rate of inflation, whatever is less, and we did it this year, finally, after talking about it for more than 20 years. And we did something else in Albany. After all the years and the stories of the dysfunction of Albany, the state government in Albany literally was a joke on late-night TV for the past few years. And it hurt the state. We operated with competence, with professionalism, and we operated with integrity. Why? Because government competence leads to business competence. And all those years where businesses were looking at Albany and saying, this state doesn't know what they're doing, this was different. Albany knows what they're doing. And you look at how this state is going and how we govern this state versus other states, and this state has a stellar record of working together to take care of its problems right here at home on a timely, nonpartisan basis. That's the story of New York and New York State government. So we did what we could. We did what we needed to do on the macro level. The legislature did outstanding work. And there is a different direction in the state. And there is a different sense in the state. And phase one, as we call it, is now complete. Now we have to go to phase two. And what is phase two on economic development? Now it's developing the economies in the regions all across the state. And the state government can't do that by fiat. There is no one top-down state economic plan. I can't say to the Capital District region, this is what you must do. Why? Because that's not the way the economy works in the state. You have 10 different regions. You have 10 different economies. And each one is a little different. What works here is different than what's going to work in Buffalo, different than what's going to work on Long Island, different than what's going to work in the Adirondacks. Each region has its own strengths, its own challenges, its own opportunities, its own dynamic, and the solution is within that region. Now, we can help, we can incentivize, we can provide leadership, we can provide motivation, and that's what this is all about. But Mayor Jennings is exactly right. It is about you to make it happen. No one else can do it. Who shapes your destiny? You shape your destiny. State is a partner, yes. State providing leadership, yes. State providing incentives, yes. But it's going to be up to you. Bob Duffy told you about the state incentives. $200 million in the ESDC funds, economic development funds, over $1 billion in total. We consolidated all the state funding. So rather than having to go to all these different departments, it's all consolidated in one application, so it furthers the ability to come in with a comprehensive approach and a comprehensive solution. What are we looking for? Regional plans that are sustainable, that are comprehensive, and that are based on public-private sector partnerships that create jobs. Regional, sustainable, comprehensive, public-private sector partnerships that creates jobs. We know that. Yes. Yes, we know that. Much easier said than done. But that is what needs to be done. Regional. As opposed to what? As opposed to the way we're organized. One of our great challenges is the economy works in regions. We are organized in units and subdivisions that have nothing to do with the way the economy is running. The economy is the capital district economy, which will rise or fall. But where the city of Albany, city of Troy, county of Albany, city of Schenectady, we have drawn all these lines and all these boundaries, all these false borders that now we have to get beyond if we're actually going to be successful planning and mobilizing as an economic unit. And that is a different recognition. Jerry Jennings Albany has no economic future without Schenectady, without Troy, without the county. And this challenge is to put your hand across that line and to reach across that line and to build bridges across that line. So we really come up with one plan and one strategy where we are all cooperating. Coordinated approach, yes, meaning not competition, but to stop competing and to start coordinating. Comprehensive, so the housing needs and the transportation needs and the economic development needs are all put together in one. And sustainable, so we understand that we have to do this, but we have to preserve the earth while we're on it and further the benefit to the environment. That's the plan. Competition, because we want to incentivize performance. We want to reward the best plans. I'm a full believer in performance orientation towards government programs, and the competition will spur that performance. That's what's up to you. You come up with a plan, you compete with the funds, we'll work with you to put the plan together. Best plans win funding, and that'll be step one to really getting this second phase of economic development going. My last point is this. I've been thinking a lot over these past few weeks. Doing the economic development work brought me back to a different time in my life, a different job, when I was HUD Secretary under Clinton, Housing and Urban Development Secretary. I was in Washington for 8 years, and that's basically what I did was economic development, and I did it all across this nation. I did it here in the Capital District region with Jerry and many of the people in this room in that capacity. And what we're talking about here today, the empowerment theory, the competition, this has all been done and tested and tried hundreds and hundreds of times by communities all across the nation. So we know the approach works. But I was also thinking back to the period when I was in Washington. And at that time, I worked literally in every state in the United States. Many of them 10, 15 times. I was everywhere, over 600 cities. And I know everything that is out there in this nation. I've seen it. Literally been there, done that. I know the beauty of this nation. I know the challenges. I know the opportunities. I know what other states are doing, what other cities are doing. And the concept that young people would leave New York to go anywhere else is totally foreign to me. Because I have been there and I can tell you firsthand, there is no place out there that has anything over on New York State, period. We have every asset that God could create or man could provide, we have here in this beautiful state. I mean, you just think about it. We have the most beautiful geography in the country, the best diversity, the best workforce, the best higher education facilities anywhere, our SUNY system, the RPIs. We have everything. Best healthcare institutions in the country, right here in the state of New York. Best workforce, just ask Jeff Stark, right here in the state of New York. We have everything. There is no reason for anyone to be going anywhere else. And we come from a people, and we come from a stock that built this state in the first place. We were the inventors. We were the pioneers. We were the first discoverers of the new land, right? That's what New York is all about. Those are the people who brought us here and birthed us here. We just have to rebuild this state, and not back to what it was. We're going to build this state better, stronger, sweeter, safer than ever before. If we have one fundamental obligation, as citizens, as public officials, as parents, it's to leave our children a home that is better than the home that we had. And their home is New York. That's what this is all about. Let's go do it, and let's do it together. Thank you, and God bless you.